Welcome to another episode of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs, the most hardcore bodybuilding supplements on the market. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, and I'm here to bring you all the latest news in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. It's Monday, January 13th, 2015. Let's get to it. After closing out last season with a dismal 6th place finish at the IFBB Korean Pro 212, Hedo Yamagishi is heading into the Arnold Classic with one thing on his mind: redemption. Over the weekend, Hedo was spotted at the West Coast Mecca, Gold's Gym Venice, pounding out a punishing set of walking lunges as he attempts to whip his wheels into shape. With just 8 weeks to go until the Arnold 212, Yamagishi needs to begin really focusing on his conditioning and bringing in a look reminiscent of last year's win at the Tampa Pro if he's going to edge out the likes of Jose Raymond and Eduardo Correa. There isn't a competitor receiving less attention heading into the Arnold Classic than Russian super freak Vitaly Fatigue. Fatigue is a relatively unknown commodity in bodybuilding circles, but judging by the look of things, he's planning on having himself quite the coming out party in Columbus 8 weeks from today. New photos have surfaced of an insanely full and hard Fatigue, who appears to be right on track to shock the world and upset a few big names as he makes his pro debut. If Fatigue can bring added size along with the same insane level of conditioning we saw from him at last year's Arnold Amateur, he could make things very interesting in the upper echelons of the IFBB. Last weekend's NFL playoffs were loaded with drama, excitement, and a shocking upset as the Indianapolis Colts knocked off the Denver Broncos at home. But it was a familiar face from the bodybuilding world that started the weekend off with a bang. Greene was featured on ESPN's Sunday NFL Countdown as he narrated a playoff montage, speaking about the mindset that it takes to become a champion. As some bodybuilding fans may remember, Greene, Phil Heath, and Dexter Jackson were all guests on the ESPN Sports Nation show a few years back, and perhaps we could be seeing the Predator pave the way for bodybuilding to make its way out of the dark ages and back on to the big screen. If we were trading futures on bodybuilding's virtual stock market, it's a safe bet to say that there may not be a single athlete in the sport whose stock is hotter than Juan Morel's. Morel placed in the top 10 in all of his contests last year, including a win at the Toronto Pro, a second-place finish at the Arnold Brazil, while also breaking into the top 10 at his Olympia debut. Recently, Juan Diesel was seen cranking out some heavy deadlifts for reps as he tries to add every last bit of size he can before starting his prep for the New York Pro. After cracking the top 5 the last 2 years in front of a raucous home crowd, it looks like Juan Diesel is primed and ready to make sure that third time's a charm. Before re-emerging at last year's Body Power Pro, it had been nearly 4 years since we'd last seen Shawn Taverney on an IFBB stage. The 2011 Toronto Pro Show and Flex Magazine Rookie of the Year winner had been MIA from bodybuilding circles. But it looks like he intends to change all of that by making an emphatic statement 8 weeks from today at the Arnold Classic. Recently, Taverney was spotted grinding out some heavy leg training as he prepares to step back onto the big stage for the first time since 2011, when he took 5th place at the 202 Olympia. Taverney says that he plans to bring a bigger, fuller package with better conditioning than we saw at his Olympia appearance. And if he can live up to his own hype, he just may throw a major monkey wrench into the already loaded 212 division. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs, the most hardcore bodybuilding supplements on the market. Check out ironmaglabs.com today. And for full quotes and Muscle in the Morning bonus features, join Muscle in the Morning's official Facebook page. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And remember to follow us on Twitter and Facebook.